atmosphere or environment. Environments contribute so much to what we become. You remember the parable of the sower? And I'll lay emphasis specifically in Matthew chapter 13, verses 22. Of the one who received the seed among the thorns. Remember, the sower went sowing seeds. Some seeds fell along the wayside. Some seeds fell on thorny ground. Some fell on stony ground. And some seeds fell on fertile ground, environment. But when you go to those that fell among the thorns, he says it's the kind of people who hear the word. And that word could be a prophetic message on your life. Somebody says, God says you're going to be one of the most successful doctors, one of the most successful engineers, one of the most prolific writers of your generation, one of the most successful politicians, one of the most successful pastors. And your destiny is spoken. I remember in my senior 6 vacation, I became more active in my home cell. We used to attend cells. And there was a poor pastor who came in that meeting. Poor man. He didn't look very presentable. And sincerely, you could easily despise him. He comes in the meeting. He was known to my cell leader. And then he looks at me. He says, young man, I want to tell you your future. I think to myself, this ninja, the way he looks, he can speak into the destiny of another man. But out of humility, I said, okay, I'm listening. The man spoke and spoke and spoke. It was too beautiful not to receive, but it was too big to believe. Are you following what I'm saying? And there are details he gave, some of which I'll not tell some of you because they are private. After many years, I remembered everything that man spoke on my life came to pass. Everything. Now, because there is a percentage that is not yet fulfilled, I'm convinced that it shall be, because it's accurate that far. Are you following what I'm saying? But it's important that I stayed in the environment where it could grow. It would not be obvious or plausible that if I left church, everything spoken on my life would be fulfilled. That's why I said, you have a part in the gestation. There were instructions that came to that prophecy. Stay before God, seek God, do this, do this. And all of those things, by the grace of God, required me to create or live in a specific environment. What does Psalms 1 and verses 1 say? Blessed is a man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly environment, nor stands in the path of sinners environment, nor sits in the seat of the scornful environment. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. That's an environment. And in his law, he meditates day and night. Verses 3, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither. And whatever that man shall do, it shall prosper. Why? Because he is in the right environment. Bad company corrupts good morals. If you sit in an environment of sin and destruction, you will frustrate your potential. There are people who have not become, and they think it's automatic that they will become because God spoke, but they're in the environment where they cannot become. The seed is potent, but it's in the thorny ground. So it talks of people who hear the word, but the cares of the world, this world environment, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and they become unfruitful. Or the word in itself, cannot perform what it must perform in their lives. The right atmosphere, the right environment is key. Position yourself where your potential finds alignment. Say amen.